Welcome back to The Art of Hobbiness. I'm Erin, joined by my lovely co-host, Tam.
Hi!
Hey. And today we're talking about a new creative hobby that Tam has discovered and something I know nothing about, so I'm excited to talk about it, window painting.
Window painting! Yes!
Yeah, so tell me first what inspired you to start this hobby. I've never seen it I guess I don't really know what it is. So may explain to us what it is first.
Yeah, okay, so think back Christmas time, right? Every storefront that you walk past all had these beautiful painted displays, right? That's what I picture and I'm defining as window painting.
Okay.
It's just like that creative marker paint design on windows.
Okay.
Would
this be like back in the day when we decorate people's cars for their birthdays? Is that window painting too?
Yeah, I guess that technically counts as window painting. It's a creative process on a window. Yeah, that counts.
Okay.
So, yes. Okay. So, we're doing this podcast with hobbies, right? So I've got a list of hobbies that either our listeners have sent in for me to try or just friends out there, family have sent me. One of them being window painting. It's been on the list. I've been meaning to get to it, and I really got inspired with it back in the holiday season because that's when I feel like I noticed it mostly. But what inevitably made me want to decide to try it this time is so I think you've heard me talk about my college friend, Devin, where we were roommates in college, had the best time together in college. Time kind of grew us apart. It wasn't due to anyone doing anything. It was just, you become a mom, you're a wife, time just doesn't exist, right? So I was sitting there one day and I was trying to think of a way that I can connect with her that isn't just once a year when I'm trying to check in for a birthday or trying to, just do that random check-in that just kind of seems a little superficial, I was trying to think of a way to be a pen pal without actually being a pen pal because I just have zero interest in sitting down.
Yeah. Tell me more. I'm curious where this is going.
Yeah. So I was thinking about it and I was I decided to do kind of an experiment essentially because I feel like being a pen pal is a hobby in itself, right?
Yeah.
So it just wasn't one that inspired me. So I kind of was okay, so if that's a hobby, then why don't I just try to find a different hobby to share with a friend long distance? Because I don't think I mentioned, she lives up in northern Illinois, so she's a couple hours away from me.
Okay.
So just a random pop-in isn't possible. So I went down the list, and of the ones that I had there, window painting seemed the easiest one to do independently, but still be able to share the process and share photos or share inspiration photos. So I went ahead and reached out to her and she was on board instantly.
Interesting. Yeah.
And it's the supplies you need. I use what's called Posca markers. They're really fun actually. It's literally it's a box you can get on Amazon for $20.
Nice.
And it's just, you just paint on a window.
Yeah. Wait, so it's it's a marker though.
Yeah, it's essentially like marker. Yeah.
Okay.
You can buy paints. There's also this, you can use water-based acrylic paints, which again, really reasonably priced that you can get on Amazon. You can also use tempera paint, which it's just another type of paint that you can get. Actually, I ended up getting it in really large jugs. And when I say jugs, I don't mean gallons, but the acrylic paints came I don't know, we'll say
bottles, little bottles,
whereas the tempera paint I was able to get in almost a half gallon.
Okay. So is that what you use to refill these markers?
No, it's just a different type.
Gotcha.
So I felt the markers were better for smaller painting.
Sure.
Whereas the tempera was better for larger painting.
Okay.
So I have my front door was basically what I used as my canvas.
Yeah.
And it was so I've got my big glass window, the storm door, right? But then to the left of it is a 6 window pane guy. So my 6 window panes I pretended were just small individual canvases that the Posca markers were really great for.
Nice.
And then the big door itself was better for the larger paint projects.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are my tools. That's what I use.
Okay, interesting. And so not very expensive for any
No.
of that, and that's all you need, really.
Yeah.
And then how do you remove, or can you remove it?
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Just soap and water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
which
easy.
was super easy.
Yeah. So have you like made some paintings and then redone them, and or how is it? How? Yes.
Yes, I have. I will say though, because we're moms, right?
Right.
We always bring the mom piece back in there. This was a hit with the kids.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
like, think about it. Like, you spend most of their lives being like, crayons are only for paper,
Yes.
and like, don't color my walls, don't color my furniture. Well, then I show up one day and I'm like, let's color the windows. And the kids
Yeah.
were like, what?
My boys would love this. I think I need to probably get some of these.
You have
Yeah.
to. It's really entertaining. Really, the limiting factor is one skill. Like,
Yeah.
I can't draw
Yeah.
for anything.
Well, I don't know.
So you saw some
Yeah.
of my drawings
Yeah.
upstairs.
Yeah.
But I so I really wish I had some talent in drawing. But when I was trying to figure out like inspiration for draw, I was like trying to do holiday stuff.
Yeah.
Post holiday stuff, and it just seemed kind of silly.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, well, when was the last time I drew? What could I draw? And it was like junior high.
Yeah.
So like think 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah. So what did you end up drawing?
Well, everything that we used to draw in our journals. So it was peace signs, yin yangs, aliens.
Flowers.
Do you remember those S's that we used to make in our notebooks where you do 3 lines up top, 3 lines on bottom, and then you would like
Yes,
connect them to
I
make
know
it
what
the
you're
squish
talking
together
about,
S?
yes.
Yeah, those are like all over my window.
That's hilarious.
And I was just like, I don't even care. You draw a fancy S on a
Right.
window.
That's right. That's right. Oh my gosh, that's great. Have you feel like it's gotten? Is there a learning curve, or it's just whatever your skill level is? Does it translate from like drawing on paper to painting on windows? Is it similar?
Yeah, I mean, like the canvas from paper to
Mm-hmm.
window is not any different. I will say there's like a texture feel that feels so nice and smooth
Oh, yeah?
and gliding, like
Yeah.
writing on a window.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
paper has like more of like an absorbent kind of feel to it. You can almost feel the pen going like into the paper, whereas the window it was like so smooth and like you could go through there.
Nice.
And as far as like skill level, like
It is what it is.
yes, like I don't think that Starbucks is going to be calling me and being like, "Girl, you've got some great stuff. Can
Yeah.
you draw our windows for the holidays?" But I did get what I wanted out of it, which was a way to do something with a friend distantly. So,
So did she do this as well? And you guys shared the pictures of what you drew?
yeah, so we would share like tools that we used. We would share like, did this work on large canvas versus not large canvas?
What a great idea.
It was really nice because it kind of took away like a superficial level of staying in contact and kind of gave us something to kind of experience, in my opinion, something to experience together.
Yeah.
Like there was one night she sent me a picture, like a glass of wine, and she's sitting there by her window.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Doing the colors, and
What did she draw?
so she was, it was around Valentine's Day, so I know she drew some hearts, and then she was building up, she was really working on like this really pretty like floral type of thing, because we're getting close, we're all
Spring.
daydreaming of
Yes,
spring.
yes, absolutely.
So she's been working on those. One of our, like I said, our things that we learned on kind of early on was like the markers are really great for filling in. But it depending on the size of the marker you get, like it can take a really long time to fill in a picture. Like we experienced with like if we wanted to layer to like try to draw characters, that you kind of need to let the first layer kind of dry.
How long does it take for it to dry?
Not long, depending on the project that you do. Like, I would say a couple, like 10, 15 minutes, and then you can kind of come in.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy. The kids don't have that kind of patience.
Right. So there's ends up being like black because they're just like putting the colors together.
Yes. But what's good about the markers I found is that like even if the kids like didn't wait for the paint to dry, you really didn't have to worry about like how like if you have like your Crayola markers and your kid colors something black, but then they bring the yellow marker in. Well, yellow marker's done.
Yep.
The yellow
Oh,
marker's
yes,
only
yes,
brown
yes,
now,
yes.
right? Like
Yeah.
it just is
Right.
never yellow
Right.
again.
Right.
You don't really have to worry about that with this. Like it'll like there'll be kind of like that stain crossover, but you just kind of can
clean it off.
You can
or,
clean
like,
it off,
that
and you
makes
can
sense.
kind of start fresh. So you really don't have to worry
nice.
about your kids
Yeah.
messing up the markers a whole lot.
Yeah. And is it washable?
Yeah.
Did you get it on any clothes or anything? Do you know if it came off?
I don't remember getting
Yeah.
on clothes. It was on my floor a
Yeah.
lot, but it came off Easily.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
it was literally just like some dish soap and some, like water, and it was off, which was fantastic because the kids could really just go crazy on my windows.
That's awesome. I'm definitely going to have to get this for the boys.
Oh, yeah. The biggest challenge was there just wasn't enough window space.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'd have to start fresh.
And you could do this for every holiday.
You could do it for every holiday.
Anything.
Yeah. You just get a creative vibe and you're like, I'm just going to bust out a yin yang.
I like it.
And you got a yin yang. Peace, everyone.
Peace, I love it. And so one question I had was you've gotten you've done one other painting hobby, and that was watercolor painting. How do you compare the two, or are they not really comparable?
That's a good question. I guess for me, I would say I don't think they're really comparable.
Yeah.
I feel like with watercolors, like I talked about a minute ago, about like paper is just more absorbent and like you can feel that kind of pull. And I feel like with watercolors, because I'm not experienced in it, like I'm not like a professional watercolor, I feel there's a little more uncontrolled likeness to the watercolor, because the water kind of just fills the paper, right?
There's just more skill to learn, right? To control it.
Yeah, I do think that. And I feel like also like the colors that you pull, it just feels like there's a lot of blending, right? And there's an art to like the blending. Whereas with the window painting, again, like that glide on the mirror just was like very satisfying. Like I just like feeling how smooth it was. The colors are very bold. It's very definitive. You have those very sharp lines. And you control those sharp lines. Like you make sure where those are go.
Yeah.
And both have their own skill set. Like, like I said, like, I mean, like, gosh, like, wouldn't it be so cool if like someday I got so good enough that maybe Starbucks does call me and was like, but like, I would like I look at those window displays that have like gold foil on them and like awesome block lettering, or lettering. But
we know how you love your handwriting.
I'm terrible at handwriting.
Your letters.
I can't do it. So it's just like this dream that I'll probably never achieve. Yeah. But I could see how somebody could really enjoy this as like a hobby and profession and really keep going with it. Yeah. Like I'll probably keep Posca markers around for like holidays.
For sure.
Am I going to break it out in between holidays? Probably not. Yeah. Like it was fun to really try, and it was really fun to use a hobby to connect with somebody.
Definitely. That's a cool idea that I would never really consider doing something like that.
Yeah, it was really nice because it just gave us something else to talk about other than how's work, how's the kids.
Right.
I feel like that was just, I was ready to move past that with this friend. Like we used to be so drunk together all the time, and it's like, now like, we're past that and we're in a different chapter, and it's like, but I still wanted to feel that funness that we had, and like just talking about that, like we talk about how like that's just like so, just not where we want to be when making friends anymore. Right. It was nice to have a skill that we can learn, talk a little deeply about it, try out things together, and just find other reasons to reach out.
Yeah, it's a great way to bond with somebody with shared experience.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed that. Like I hope that she enjoyed the experience.
Well,
take
Devin, if you're listening, let us know.
Feedback. 5-star this episode, please. And like her husband's awesome too. Like Nick is really great. Like he actually is really great. He's been kind of following our hobby journey and like trying out some of the hobbies that we do. So he's been such a great sport about this too. We'll have to get them on the show sometime.
That'd be great.
Pick their brain to see what they think about all of these hobbies.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But yeah, so that would be, if you're looking to have a pen pal, but you don't want to write, I highly recommend just picking up, share a hobby. Yeah. It seems so easy, but again, I just feel like there's a lot of things about hobbies that are obvious that I just don't feel like I obviously saw until I got into it.
Yeah, I don't know that it's that obvious. I don't hear of other people doing that. I think it's a great idea.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, I do. Because I just think we're all so disconnected. I don't know. And we're just busy with our lives.
We really are.
Yeah, it's great.
Hobbies are a great way to bond with a friend.
It really is. I love it. Clip. Yeah, so I would say, how would you rate this hobby out of 5?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so for me, I'm going to give it like a 4, but mostly because like it's not really stressful.
Yeah,
it's not. There is an end goal in mind. Like you are trying to draw a picture, and like somebody like me who's not very talented at drawing, there were times where I got a little frustrated. Why is it so hard to draw a circle? Like, I don't understand what a circle is doing
that
to
is
me.
just helping to fight your perfectionism, Tam. Just one more time.
I was getting so annoyed. I was trying to draw, other 90s things. I tried to draw a troll, which I don't know if you saw my troll up there. I was really impressed by my troll. But mostly because there was no circles involved. Because I tried to do the Powerpuff Girls, which has a lot of circles involved. And that's where I was like, I don't understand.
Oh my God.
Just want a circle. So I would probably give it a 4 just because of that. Like, I feel like it's great family fun. Kids can get involved, and they felt like they were doing something risque, because all this life, they're like, we're not allowed to color anything but paper. Wait, windows?
Yes.
And then
Low cost.
Low barrier to entry.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, at one point I was just drawing S's. Yeah. So, I mean, like you really just put something on there and you feel satisfied from that. And ASMR definitely gets involved in that. So it's fun. Nice. Is it my favorite? Nah, I think I'll just save it for the holidays, Christmas mostly.
Yeah. I love it.
But otherwise, it's a kid's toy now.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, I feel like I learned a lot about it. I never really would have even thought to do that as a hobby, and I wonder if people do that for a living?
I really do think they do.
People that start, that's like.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
like, I think you're going to notice it now. Like, when you start walking around town, you're going to see these window paintings and you're like, oh my God, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That somebody just painted that on there.
I will have to pay attention to that. Well, thanks for trying the hobby and sharing it with us.
Of course, my dear.
Yeah, I hope everybody loved hearing about window painting.
Do it.
Very exciting stuff.
So
seriously. Thanks for joining us on The Art of Happiness today, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to The Art of Happiness. Be sure to leave a review and rating. And for a little extra Erin and Tam fun, be sure to follow us on Instagram and Pinterest for behind-the-scenes footage of our journey to find happiness.